This week's episode of Dr. Glass is brought to you by the Lincoln Land Carnival Glass Club.
Hi, I'm Kenda.
And I'm Bill.
And we
hope to see you in Milwaukee this June. Who's this glass guy? I sure like his style.
Oh my.
Boris, have you got my IRS return done yet? You know, I got him to come back and finish my return. Tonight's the deadline for mailing returns. Great, you're finished. You're finished. I'm relieved. I mean, what's that? You're not quite finished yet. What do you mean not quite finished yet? You've been working on it a whole week. Wait a minute, you've got 2 answers? 2 answers? How could that be? What does the square root of 1 being negative or minus 1, or positive or minus 1 have to do with it? What? Either I have a refund of $20,000 or I owe $20,000? God, get out of here, you shyster H and block reject, you graduate my butsy. Okay, back at it. Okay, calm down. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hooked on Carnival Glass, or Help Me, I'm Confused. You, not me, especially him. Each episode, we hope to answer some of your questions to help improve your Carnival Glass collecting experience. That sweat all over the place. Here it is. Okay, this week we listed a 1965 Playboy Bunny of the Month. She's changed over the years. 1 Democratic pollster and 1 Republican pollster to help answer your questions. Tasha, let's get started. Question number 1. Just sweat all over the place. It's all your fault. Question number 1. What is a swung vase? How did they stretch a vase out? Well, vases that are called swung or slung really started out as very small pieces of glass. Okay, you can see 2 different size vases here, but each one of these started out very much smaller than they actually are now. Okay, and when they came out of the mold, they were still soft, warm, and pliable. Okay, and then they would be slung or stretched or swung out in order to stretch them. Well, how would they do that? Okay, well, the glass, as it came out of the mold, again, it may have been half the size of this, was grabbed onto the bottom with something called a snap. Now, the snap was like a claw that was on a long metal pole. Okay, so that claw would be here. It would grab that glass as it came out of the mold with the claw, and they would swing it around, sling it around. And since it was warm and still pliable, that short piece of glass would start stretching. The centrifugal force pushing the glass outward from the snap that was holding the bottom to it. So something very small would then become much larger than it was when it came out of the mold, but it would still retain the pattern. And you can see how the patterns even seem like they've been stretched out or slung out. Okay. Now, okay. After it was stretched, then they could take the different tops, and they would then kind of put different designs and change the mold on top to give you the different effects that you can see here. Okay, the kind of the ruffles and pinched in places and things like that. Okay, so some were really swung, some were maybe not swung as much, but if you ever wanted to see this, you probably couldn't put a short person on it because swinging around, they'd have to keep the glass from hitting the ground. And I can really even see a picture of it right now in my mind as I think I can picture it in my mind, what it might look like, what it might look like. I'm back. Okay, well, I think I've been able to answer that question about what is me. Good. Okay, yeah, then we've got that solved, and you can then know the reason why some of these are much longer because they were stretched, swung, or slung. Okay. Question number 2. Question number 2 says, "What does it mean to be stippled?" Well, that doesn't mean tippled after a long night of drinking. It means stippled. Well, what does it mean to be stippled? Okay, well, stippling is the bumpy texture that you usually find on as fillers in between patterns on glass. For example, this pattern has leaves and cherries in it, okay? But this is not stippled. In between the leaves and cherries, the spaces in between there are smooth, okay? There's no bumps or no patterns or anything that's in between the different features of this particular piece of carnival glass, okay? And if I would compare it to something that is stippled, okay, if I would take this piece of carnival glass here, and if you could take a look up close of it, at it, you would see in between the different features, it's got the same features, cherries and leaves all the way through the pattern on the plate itself. But in between, you would see little bumps, little tiny little glass bumps, as if it was pieces of sandpaper, and the little bumps on the sandpaper were made of glass. Okay? And if you could look at them real close, you'd be able to see those stippling marks on the piece, whereas this one would not have those stippling marks. Now, why might they do that? The stippling on there would gather the light in and make everything, the iridescence, stand out a lot more than you would with something like this. Does that about explain it there for me? Thank you. Okay, another reason why they might have done the stippling on plates is as a mold that was producing this particular plate over the years would get little defects or flaws in the mold, and they would show up as little marks along the areas that should be smooth. Well, what they might do is take that mold and recycle it, and they would take a little chisel and and chisel in little dots all the way in the areas that would be in between these features on here. And then when they would put the glass in the mold, those little dots would show up as the stippling, as if it's on this piece here. So it was not only done for making the effect of the iridescence better, but could also been in recycling and making a mold last much longer than it might have otherwise. Okay, and there is a great article about that, about the chisels on Carnival 101, and you can see along the bottom of your screen right now how to find Carnival 101 on your website, on your computers. So I think we've answered that question. I think we've done that fairly well. Hopefully people know what it means to be stippled and a little idea of how it might have been made and why it was made that way. Well, there you have it, folks. Hopefully we've been able to answer your questions and help your carnival glass collecting experience. Tasha, do we have any comments from our viewers? Thank you. I got some vibrations from this one, and I think those vibrations are enough for me to be able to tell the answer before I even open up, and the answer is no. Oh, there's more to it. His nails are too long for typing on the keyboard. No, his nails are too long for typing on the keyboard. Well, let's see what the question is. And the question is, Boris is cute. Boris is cute. Just because he's related to you. Okay, is he on singlesmingle.com? Well, he might be on jingledingle.com, but not singles mingles. Okay, so that's our show for today, April 15th. Looking off towards Boris. So keep those cards and letters coming in so you can send them to me at drglass@hookedoncarnivalglass.com, hookedoncarnival.com. For those who live in or near Fresno, California, think about joining the Northern California Carnival Glass Club. They're a great club, and the dues cost no more than sending 5 pounds of raw meat, Boris, through the mail. Okay, well, I guess I'm on my way to the post office to file my extension for my returns. Say goodbye, Tasha. What's this? You're giving me a bill. You expect to be paid? Get out of here. Get.